perspective, also, we may be jaded because we have experienced cases where we have reported a case of animal cruelty and then seen what seems like no response. And there hasn't been maybe a closing of the loop. Or we have seen a case of an animal that we've reported continue to deteriorate and decline without any perceivable action in the community. Kind of experience could certainly be contributing to a learned helplessness. Like, why bother? Why report? Nobody cares. Nobody does anything. And the truth of the matter is that many people care. Many people in the right position to do something. And if you're new in your job, or if you're new to animal cruelty investigations, and it seems like the veterinarian you're working with is jaded, you might want to explore that with them, or let them know, hey, there's a new team in town. We have a new approach. We are taking animal cruelty investigations very seriously, or just kind of setting that aside. I don't know what you've experienced in the past, but with this case, I need your help. Let's look at it. Really important things to know about veterinarians is we are super conflict averse, and most of us haven't been in a courtroom, and we don't know what it's going to be like. So we have this big scary image of what a courtroom is like. We're going to be cross-examined. The emperor's going to we're going to pull off our emperor's clothes, and everybody's going to see that we know nothing. And it takes some coaching and maybe a little bit of hand-holding to let them know the majority of cases, when they're worked up well, don't even go into a courtroom. That the majority of defense attorneys know that they can get a lot further with you by being sweet and nice, and it's not going to be a conflict-filled event. And that the courtroom process is very friendly to veterinarians because the judge, the jury, everybody really wants to hear what we have to say. So it's no different than maybe going into an exam room with a single client and telling them what our opinion is about that. But here's the biggest secret of all. Your veterinarians, they may look like they run the show, but it's everybody in the background, all their support staff, their technicians, their receptionists, the practice manager, they are the folks that help keep the vets on track and keep them doing their work. So oftentimes, if you are trying to work with a veterinarian and you would just like to modify how they respond to you or the approach a little bit, go to some of these folks that have been working with them for a few years and find out what their secret motivators are and how you can get through to them, because these folks are going to help you get things. Helping veterinarians understand their role is important because the picture is so much bigger. So if you can share with them the narrative reports, the scene photos, let them know what the various allegations may be, what the various scenarios are that have been brought up. And that way, it was kind of old school thinking was, don't tell me anything, and I will make this decision of whether or not it was accidental in a vacuum, because I don't want to be influenced by the information out there. But it's more important for us to have all the information so we can test the theories against the science that we have in front of us. Does it fit or doesn't it fit? So make sure that you let us know that nothing that you're presenting to us is meant to influence a finding, but rather put the situation into context, thus educate us. Let us know that you're the investigator and you're seeking our professional input, and that you're looking for an opinion, not the absolute final divine truth. And especially explain your words and don't assume we understand your terminology. There may be words that seem very simple and straightforward to you: arraignment, indictment, grand jury, that we kind of know something about because we've watched some television in our lifetimes, but we may not exactly know. And hearing those words without having them spelled out may cause us to freeze a little bit, because now we're doing that thing where, oh, I'm faking it till I make it. I should know this. And that can cause a gap in communication, because while the veterinarian's trying to figure out what that was or what's needed from them to answer that question, they may not be hearing everything that's being communicated. So also, conversely, veterinarians are going to speak very quickly to you in our own shorthand, in our language, about animals and animals' conditions. So don't hesitate to slow us down and say, hey, doc, what did you mean by that? And if there are some assumptions that are made or deductions or conclusions that are made, don't be afraid to say, hey, let's go back a few steps. You're saying that you think this is what's going on, but why? How did you get there? because veterinarians are also, because of that, we got to get through the exam room visits, we got to get our work done, we got to keep the money rolling in, whatever it is. We have a tendency to think very quickly and deliver conclusions, and it's going to be helpful for us to understand that you need us to help walk you down that path.